and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we are going to tell you about all the fun you're going to have this year at the Hampton Cup Regatta. My guests are Lisa Adkins and Kraig Cole. Welcome.
Thanks for having us again.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is going to be a perfect year, right?
Absolutely. They all are.
First of all, we're back in September.
We are. The 29th and 30th. Yep.
And what does that mean for the race?
Typically, it's cooler weather. For the
Yay.
racers, they actually like it because cooler temperatures equal better horsepower, better running on the engines, and smoother water. So they like that.
I never think of it from that side. I think of the spectators.
Yeah, less humidity into that mix.
Yeah, I mean, you can still get a hot weekend in September, but it's not likely to be
It's not like
90
it-
with 90% humidity.
It's not going to be
Exactly.
105. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. We've
Right.
had that.
We have had it. We've been in it back in August, and the spectators love it. I mean, we went to September last year, and like we always mentioned, we were not afraid to try new things, stick with what works, give up what doesn't. And this is one thing that definitely has worked. Over the past year, we have so many compliments from people who have been to the races saying, "That's the best thing y'all have done in 15 years to move to September."
And you know, from the city perspective, I think it's really nice because it kind of extends the tourism season and extends the summer. It fills the hotels on a September weekend maybe instead of just the August time frame. I think it's good for all of us.
Right. I
It
mean,
is
we
all
fill
way
the
around.
Courtyard by Marriott over on Coliseum Drive. That's our host hotel. They love us when we come back every year. And like I said, it brings in the tourists back in, and plus, it's more of the local feel.
Right. The
kind of thing.
locals, the spectators, everybody gets to keep. You know, it's like a longer summer.
It
That's
does.
We like to think
Yeah.
so. We like to think so. I mean, and there's always plenty of stuff going over on the south side. Yeah, we're the premier event for the city. We like to think, and we want to draw those south side folks over. Because we all know how great we are. We want to pull them guys over. We've made some various appearances at Downtown Block Party, and I've talked to several folks
And
from
Langley Speedway.
And Langley Speedway. And talk to folks, hey, where are you from? We're from Suffolk, Chesapeake, Virginia Beach. I said, well, come back and see us.
Right.
Don't be afraid of that tunnel. Don't be afraid of the bridge. Come on over. Have a
Yeah,
good
and the
time.
bridge is always better in September too, so
It
it's
is.
probably easier for people from the south side to come on over.
Yep.
And you have an additional draw this year. You're hosting the Nationals.
We are. This is our 93rd consecutive running, so we are exceptionally proud of that. It is the Summer Nationals, which it just coincides with the end of the summer. It doesn't necessarily always work out that way, but we're very proud and pleased to be hosting that. So we've got it this year, and then actually next year too in 2019. So we got two big titles back to back.
Wow. So what does that mean in terms of the racers? Do you draw more people? Is it?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, we are 44 days away from our event, and I've already...
As we tape this.
As we
We'll be
tape this.
closer when we air.
Exactly.
Probably about
Closer
2
when
weeks' time we air
sorry.
this.
Yeah, but right this minute, at this point in time, to already have like 16 to 18 boats that are pre-registered, and yes, I'm definitely coming, that's a pretty big number at this point, because most of the people wait till last minute, because there are a couple races between now and then in their schedule before they come to us. So there's always a possibility of something unfortunate happening to the boat. So we always kind of keep our fingers crossed, for the end of the year, that everybody still has everything all put together and they can come see us.
Yeah. And one thing that we're doing a little different this year, like we always like to do things a little different, try new things. This year, because we do have the Nationals, we actually have a separate trophy awards over at Ouzelfinch on Saturday evening, about 6:30. And anybody who's interested in watching, the race teams are supposed to have a pickup softball game around 7. So if you want to come watch, you're welcome to come watch. But speaking of Ouzelfinch, we're going to have our kickoff party again out there on Friday night, the 28th. And we'll have music by the Jason Cale Band. It'll start about 7 o'clock. And just come on out. We had a great time there last year. We filled up that field in front of the brewery with different
wow.
class boats. People
how fun.
people just seem to love that. They were tickled to be able to get in, climb in the cockpit, because they don't realize how tight that is. It's just like a jet fighter cockpit, just how tight it is. And depending on the race team, you might have a display not too unlike what you might see in a plane.
Wow.
But extending the music through the event is also something we started a couple years ago, and that we got a really good response to that. So this year on Saturday from approximately 1 to 4, in between race heats and during our water safety break, we'll have the Brackish Water Jamboree playing, the Brewgrass playing.
Love them.
I love those guys. Paul and those guys are just awesome. And then on Sunday, we'll have Zen Mojo playing again, and they've been coming back with us every year the past few years. And Chuck and I forget the guitarist's name. He's gonna kill me. But anyway, they put such a different spin on your favorite songs. They're really cool. You just sit back, enjoy a frosty beverage, and just enjoy the music, and hopefully not enjoy too much heat. But
Yeah.
So it is really, I mean, the racing is very serious. People take it seriously, but they also have fun.
Right.
Especially when they're not the ones behind the cockpit, when they're not
Right.
focused on their own race.
Right.
The rest of the time is a celebration with the racers, with the families, with the spectators.
It's a family reunion. I mean, every year we look forward to this because it's our racing family. And that's how we think of everybody. They're not just friends. I mean, you see the same families that'll come back year and year after year. Some of them will be on the race course, and some of them will be hanging out over on the bridge or that little shady area underneath the trees. I mean, it's a tradition. So we do like to, as Kraig said, tweak things. We like to make it just a little bit better. What can we do to make it better for the people who are coming to see this? Because it's not just a boat race. Like I said, it's a very family event.
And it is a family event. I'm going to
Very
ask
much
you again,
so.
Lisa, when did you go to your first race?
I went to my first race in July of 1966.
When you were?
And I was 5 months old. I was 5 months old at that point in time. So yeah, so this will be my 53rd consecutive.
Oh, you didn't have to give your
That's
age.
okay. They're gonna do the math. They're gonna figure it out anyway. It's okay. It's all good.
So
maybe
53 out of 93.
93, yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good amount there.
Exactly. I mean, it's one of those things where it was a tradition because my dad raced. So there were extended, my personal racing family was quite extended from that. And so now we've come down through the generations, and I've always gone. And it was in 2006 where I got invited to actually come back onto the committee, and then somehow managed to get the chairmanship in 2010. So that's the way it's been since then.
But you don't have to be born into this.
Not
it's
at all.
not just for a certain set of people who've been in it their whole lives. Kraig,
Right.
you came on.
No, I came on in 2000 just as a day volunteer. I worked down at the shipyard, and every month they put out volunteer opportunities. And I saw it that month. I was like, that sounds kind of cool. I'll come out. And I came out for the 1 day, and then next year I came for the 2 days. And then back in those days it was a 3-day event. And the next year I came back for all 3, and then I think it was 2004. Again, I got invited to, hey, you want to come on board and help us out? And here we are.
He was beer cart guy.
Yeah, I was beer cart guy for like 2 or 3
Beer
years.
cart guy.
I can see that.
That was his actual first title.
It was my idea, so it was like I kind of mimicked the golf cart, the golf tournaments. They had the people ride around. So it's like, hey, let's try it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's recap. The dates are,
September 29th and 30th.
but we're going to start on the 28th, Friday night, out at Ouzel.
Yep.
For the kickoff.
And that, again, free and open to everybody. I mean, you got to
Yes.
buy your own beer. But the
Absolutely.
atmosphere, go visit the boats, have a
Right.
good time, very
Yeah.
laid back.
Right.
Yeah, please do. Please, the drivers and the boat owners, they love to show off their toys. I mean, this is what they work all year for, and they're just proud of it. Like any car show. And speaking of car show, we do have a car show on the bridge, in addition to our children's area. But the kickoff party, we've tried different things. We've done it on the bridge itself. We partnered with Paradise Ocean Club, and now that we're outside their
Yes,
regular
yes.
season.
Their season, right.
But it's just one of the things we love to partner with the community because we are part of the community. We sit on the partnership for New Phoebus board, and we really want to work together with everybody that we can. And the message is, anybody who wants to come join the family, come talk to us. I mean, we'd love to have you.
Okay, and then so Saturday and Sunday, the times are?
Probably 11 to.
The gates will open
5,
about 10,
yeah.
and
Okay.
then hopefully
Yeah.
we'll again, because the Mill Creek is tidal, we hope to get racing between 11 and 12.
So that's a little earlier than some years. You really do work with the
So-
tides
yeah,
and
we
figure
do.
out exactly what's
We
the
do.
premier time. So the gates are open though. People can come by. You've got boats that people can look at. You said you had a car show. There's beverages, both frosty beverages and otherwise for
Yeah,
sale.
and food carts.
Food carts.
All anything you can think of.
music.
I think the one thing we don't have
between
is
the
the big,
racing.
massive turkey drumsticks.
We've not. Yeah, we don't have those, but.
And let's tell people where this is. When you say the bridge, I don't even know if we've officially said Mill Creek on this show because I
Right.
assume people know.
Right.
Which bridge? There's two.
Mercury Boulevard, the Mercury Boulevard Bridge. The city of Hampton is kind enough to let us take over. And so that's what we have. So starting right there in Phoebus, we take over the whole bridge, and that is it's the best
And that's
viewing
the best
area.
viewing area. People can take, the Phoebus Bridge, the Mugler Bridge, onto Fort Monroe, watch from that side if they want. There's other areas, but that bridge is the main thing.
Yeah, all the event amenities are on the bridge.
Yeah.
Should say that.
Yeah. And I mean, we've heard from other people who go to other races.
And Lisa, where do people park?
Well, it's good. Glad you asked that. There is some limited street parking in Phoebus. There is a field on North Curry Street that we do man with a volunteer group.
Okay.
And you walk in the park in there. They ask for a donation that helps them out. It's helping one of the local swim teams. Or you can park on Fort Monroe. And again, partnering and being a good neighbor kind of thing. If you do park on Fort Monroe, please obey the parking signs because there are a lot of residents, a lot of businesses over there on the fort now. And working with FMA, the Fort Monroe Authority, that's one thing where they have recognized over the years. I think when they first got started, they didn't really know us, but they know that we put that word out. We try to work with them very well. And just if you do, just be wary, just like anywhere else, be wary of where you park and be courteous. And be kind to your area. If you bring trash, take it with you, that kind of thing. Or we'll have trash cans.
You are so close to the water. Anywhere you are, where you're viewing this race, that any trash can really cause some water pollution, problem for the animals, problem for the racers. All kinds of things. So yes, let's make sure we patrol our area and clean up after ourselves.
Now, there is one other thing that'll be different this year. APBA, American Powerboat Association, has a racing school in Ohio. If you want to go try to become a racer, you can go out there and go to the racing school.
That's so funny. I'm from Southern Ohio, and I'm like, where? Of course, it's up in the lake, the Great Lakes, right?
It's down around Columbus, I believe.
Is it?
That's where one of the instructors
That's so funny.
lives.
I don't think of them as having water like we do, but
yeah, one of the instructors is also one of our racers. They're going to bring one of the driving school boats with them, a big 5-liter. And we'll have it out on the bridge. So if anybody wants to come and check it out, again, sit in there. And we'll also have our new flat bottom display boat that we take to the events. That'll also be available for anybody who wants to climb in, sit behind the cockpit, sit behind the wheel, feel like what it feels like.
Get a photo.
Get a photo.
Get a selfie.
Yeah. And again, that display boat has been something that's been a project we've been working on for a couple of years. And I think the next thing I think we want to try to do is somebody suggested putting a green screen behind it so we can maybe superimpose a race scene behind you or something. We're not quite there yet, but
we're working on it.
We're working on it. So.
Okay, so what does all this cost as a spectator?
Nothing.
Admission's free.
Yep, it is free.
It's amazing that you can still do that, to be honest.
It is, and I'll tell you, the group that we have right now, who is the organizational part of this, we have learned to do so much more with less. And just because the cost of everything goes up. And I mean, people don't, it's not like back in the day where people would just sponsor, thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Yes.
So we have become very crafty in again, getting the most out of every single dollar that people are kind enough to donate to us.
Right. And
you have an army of volunteers.
Army of volunteers.
Yes,
the local population really turns out to help.
Very much so.
And I'm just going to give our kudos to our whole committee. Everyone, and we were just talking about this morning, we've gotten to the point, not bragging, but I mean, it's just a fact. We've gotten to the point where it's not necessarily turnkey, but everybody knows their area and that we know that, hey, security, we've got this. Okay, got it, we'll go take care of it. Logistics, whatever it may be. We've got some working with our sponsorship. And, as Lisa alluded to, we can't put this on without the money, number one, from the city. And we've got a whole host of sponsors, and I'm not going to mention very many, but a couple, just because they've been with us so long. Lockwood Brothers, we couldn't put this on without the crane services.
Yeah, absolutely.
Correct.
And Old Point National Bank. Those are the city and Old Point and Lockwood. They have been with us almost since day one. I know Lockwood's been out there since the 40s.
And Fort Monroe.
And Fort Monroe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Absolutely.
But as you're out there on the bridge, we've got sponsor banners up. You'll see the boat stickers out there as they go by us on the straightaway or on the golf carts, that kind of thing. Please, check out what sponsors that you see advertised, and send them your business. That's what it's all about. And which, again, trying to partner that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything you want to add before we close?
I think we've pretty much covered
done already?
everything. Yeah.
Kraig would keep talking, wouldn't
He would. He would be on it for days. I could go and he'd never even notice that it was gone, so it'd be okay.
Well, thank you both for coming.
Thanks.
I really look forward to this. It
So do
is
we.
a big deal for the city of Hampton, for the boating community. It's part of Hampton's sports tourism. It's part of the way we're growing and bringing people to the city. So thank you for helping us with that effort.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thanks, Robin.
Thanks. And thank you for watching. I hope to see you out on the bridge or under a tree at Fort Monroe, watching, listening. It's a great family fun experience. Thanks for watching.